Welcome to Everterra Farms. My name is Steve Timmermans. My family moved here in 2009. So everything we do here on the farm is perennial and permanent based as compared to annual types of things. Not that we don't or won't be doing any type of annual cropping, such as gardening or growing specialty crops, annual specialty crops. But for the most part, what we're doing here is perennial and permanent agriculture. We were very excited and very pleased and thankful for the Ontario Soil and Crop Association's SARFIP program and its availability to farmers like us to be able to apply to do some of the things that we've done and continue to do on the farm. We have essentially two SARFIP projects that we've implemented on this property. The first one is primarily erosion control and wetland habitat creation. Well, we work with the natural contours of the land with the Keyline project, and we create a higher diversity when we installed some of these features. So for example, we have these swales, and they become a sort of a new feature on the property that creates a little bit more diversity. The whole Keyline process as a whole, because it's based on a perennial type of permanent agriculture system, that greatly enhances the availability of new habitats and niches for various species. There's a lot of new soil life that is not really that noticeable to most people's eyes, but when you actually get down and look, there's a lot of new critters, a lot of new life in the soils as well. So we have lots of good soil activity going on here. There's a worm. There's a wormhole right there. Right there. Our philosophy of agriculture stems from looking specifically at the soil as a unit, as a cornerstone in itself, and working with the soils and everything else from there up. When we view our farms by putting the soils first, it quickly led us to wanting to do things to ensure that the soils, A, aren't eroding, and secondly, in more productive soils that you don't have to feed a lot of fertilizer into, but eventually get into a type of cycle where they're becoming almost self-fertilized just through the life that's in the soils themselves. What's nice about the type of production and management that we're working towards right now is that it creates what we believe to be a more of an aesthetic type of environment that you want to go out and enjoy, where you have all these different habitats and features that you can work with. Being involved in this kind of complex production system has its challenges, but when you actually start to see how things develop and see the rewards from that, it becomes quite self-satisfying. Stewardship is important to what we do on the lands. We want to make sure that what we're doing is good for the land, good for the water, good for the wildlife, the biodiversity. So stewardship is very important, depending on what aspect of our production and management we're looking at. It's very important. I think that stewardship should be important for any farmer, because without the resilience and health of the land, the soils and the waters and the biodiversity, you're not going to have a really productive system in the long term. It's not just the species at risk. What we do for species at risk inevitably benefits a lot of other species. So it's good to have species at risk as an anchor or cornerstone for doing this, but it benefits a lot of different things, whether it's biological, social, and even economically, depending on how you look at it and depending on what you're doing. If we invest in our soils, then we're investing in the long term for the farm.